Pagsubok by Cainguitan, Casie Karel Asuncion, Russel, Macahig. Everyone has different luck. Some get to experience a life where they don't have to worry about where and how to get things they want. It just happens that they already have everything. But unfortunately, some of us don't have that kind of luck. And what I mean by that is quite a few of us are living paycheck to paycheck to survive. We don't get the things we desire just by one snap. We have to work really hard to get them. Sad to say that me and my family are part of those people. Hi, I'm Nana Cruz, and I'm going to share with you the happy and not so happy story of my life. My family doesn't have that much. We live in Laoag City, the gem of Ilocos Norte, a place should be on everyone's Philippine travel bucket list. It has magnificent sand dunes along the Ilocos coast, breathtaking natural rock formations, and centuries-old stone cathedrals. Not just that, they also have wide green farms where most of the people get their daily needs. A short-haired girl with mesmerizing brown eyes, nice full lips, and typical morena skin is how most of my neighbors usually describe me. I'm very well known in our neighborhood because of my generosity, intelligence, and kindness. I got my intelligent and mesmerizing brown eyes from my mom, and my morena skin is from my dad. I also have a little sister who is short, shy, and quiet. My family is my inspiration to work hard because I want them to be proud of me, and I hope that someday I will be able to give them a good life. My parents had been working very hard just to provide for us and give us money to finish school. With their support, I was able to become a teacher. Good morning, students, I yelled. Good morning, Miss Cruz, the student said cheerfully. Okay, class, you may now sit down and take your books out because today we will be discussing our cultures in the Philippines. Okay, Miss Cruz, the students replied. Do any of you know our national hero? I asked. All of the excited third graders raised their hand. Yes, Isaiah. Jose Rizal po. That's correct. What about his role? Do any of you know? The students shook their heads. I explained Jose Rizal's role to the students, and after my explanation, I told them to open their books to page 100 to 103 because they were having a quiz. You will have 30 minutes to study. The students started to read their books, and the classroom became quiet. I went to my desk to open my laptop and check if I had new emails. Since I still had time, I started to print out the students' quizzes. After 30 minutes, I said, Okay, students, put away your books, including your cell phones. Bring out your pens or pencils. We're going to start our quiz now. After the students finished their quiz, the bell rang. Okay, class, see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye, Miss Cruz. See you tomorrow. When I arrived home, no one was there. My heart was pounding. I checked every room, even the backyard. But the house was empty. I told myself that maybe I was just overreacting and that they just went to the store to buy something. So I stayed positive, hoping and praying that nothing bad happened. When I was about to take a nap, my phone suddenly rang. The call was from my mom, so I answered it right away. Hello, Ma? I said with a sleepy voice. Anak, we're here at the hospital because your papa said that he can barely breathe and he felt dizzy. The doctor said his heart rhythm is not normal. They also said that his condition right now is unstable and they think that he might have a cardiac arrest. Hello, Ma! What happened? Is he okay? I said with a trembling voice. My mom was not answering, but I could hear her sobbing. I kept on asking what happened, but my mom was still not responding, so I ended the call and quickly jumped out of bed, got ready, and went to the hospital. When I arrived at my dad's room, I was shocked that there was a lot of doctors surrounding him. I was asking my mom what was happening, but she was not answering me. I suddenly felt so weak and I didn't know what to do. Then my mom came to hug me, and as we hugged, both of us suddenly burst into tears. I asked my mom what was going on. She didn't respond. Instead, she continued to hug me while crying and said, Nene, your papa is gone. My eyes widened at what I heard, and I couldn't believe what she just told me. So I decided to go to my father's room to see it for myself. And as I opened the door, his body covered in white cloth was the first thing I saw. I was completely shocked to the point where I couldn't stand straight because my bones were so weak. I started to cry. Papa, why did you leave us? I still have a lot of promises, hopes, and dreams that I wanted to achieve for you and Mom. I wanted to buy you every huge house with the bright chandeliers, huge soft sofas with gold designs around them, and your dream cars. I wanted the both of you just to relax, be happy, and not worry about anything. But why did you leave us too soon, Pa? My mom entered the room as I was sobbing. Nene anak, we need to go home and fix your father's belongings. Your sister must be waiting for us. We also need to clean the house before his body arrives, Mom said with a husky sound. As we traveled, who is going to pay the hospital bills? And the cost of his funeral, Ma? I asked. I don't have that much money right now, anak, but don't worry, we'll just borrow some money from our relatives and neighbors or whoever can and wants to help us, she said. I only have a small amount of money saved, Mom. I don't know if that helps, I replied. Then she said, I'll take care of this, okay? At my family's simple one-story house, after hanging a large white cloth over our living room for the background of the casket, they started to surround it with torchlight lights followed by some funeral wreaths. Then, after a few hours, my father's body in a casket arrived, and the workers from the funeral homes carried it inside. My mother, on the other hand, was feeling so uneasy. She didn't say anything, and she just sat there with my sister and stared at my father. While she was staring at my father in that white, long, and wide coffin, her tears began to fall, and she started to break down. I walked towards her and my sister and confronted both of them, and I said, It's okay, we got this. We're crying. After talking to my titos, I went to bed and cried, worrying about all our expenses, and that's when I decided to apply to be an overseas foreign worker or OFW. It was the only way to help my mom with our bills debts. I told Mama about going to Dubai to hopefully pay our debts because I know that the income there is bigger and my salary here is not enough. Mom couldn't believe me at first, but I told her that I'm very serious and had made up my mind. Can you handle the work there, Nene? She asked. Don't worry, Ma, this is for us, so I'm going to be able to handle it, I replied. Then I hugged her so tight and said, We'll go through this, Ma. Don't lose hope. For the sake of us, I will hold on and won't give up. Mahal na mahal kita. Mahal na mahal din kita, anak, she said well in tears. After the funeral, I packed everything. I was driven to the airport by my tito, my sister, and my mom. Nene, anak, be safe and always keep in touch, okay? Mama said with her teary eyes. Opo, Mama. I will call you every day. I won't forget about you, I replied while smiling at her. I promise that I'll work hard to save money and send it to you so we can pay off our debt and return as soon as possible. So you won't be alone, Mom. I won't disappoint you. I was hired as a domestic helper. I realized that my job as a teacher was very far from my work in Dubai. I smiled with pain in my eyes, but I decided to ignore it and told myself that I am only doing this for my family. My work was not that bad since the family that I work with were very nice and understanding. I also had a lot of Filipinos co-worker, and that's why I managed to stay there for at least 5 years. My assigned work was to take care of babies, do the laundry, clean the house, and cook their meals. In the first week of being away from my family, I was doing fine, but as time passed, I began to get homesick. I cried myself to sleep every night, missing my sister and my family. Most of my coworkers were Filipino and had more experience than me, so they were always there to comfort me. During my time off, another OFW and I would go together to talk about home and our work. As time went by, I began to get used to it. I was great at my job. My boss admired me so much that they wanted to expand my contract for an additional year. I was able to earn some extra money because I worked there for a long period of time, plus my boss raised my salary. With that extra money I earned, I was able to pay my family's debt and put my sibling in school. Work was hard, but I had no choice. I missed my family, my work was tough, and I missed my students, but it was the only way to make more money. Even though being separated from my own family because I needed to work was extremely painful, I endured all the pain and homesickness because I realized that this was the only way to help my family.